Iconica Studios.
Welcome to the groove machine. Welcome to the groove. Welcome to the groove machine. Welcome to the groove. Hello. Okay, Mark Johnson with Iconica Sight and Sound Studio. This video is going to be a little different from what I typically do. I guess all my videos are kind of different from what I typically do because I like a lot of stuff, but this one's special because it's about a band that I adore. I love this band. This is about King's X. If you haven't heard of them, that's okay. Most people haven't. They are well, let's just start with the story. The clip that you heard at the beginning was from King's X, or a song called Groove Machine. Um, and it exemplifies their music pretty much. I'd say, actually, their songs are usually a little bit more melodic and complex. The wind is getting cold. But that's still a good sample of their music. King's X started. I'll just jump to where they're together. Is back in probably '79, and a lot of this information is just stuff I'm remembering. I haven't gone in and did a deep dive research. It's just stuff I remember hearing. So if it's off, a little bit, I apologize. But I wanted this to be a kind of my love for King's X and not some, research paper that I did in college or something. If that makes any sense. So King's X, '79, they called themselves, it had a couple different names from The Edge. What else was it? Coming Attraction was another one of their names. The band consists of lead singer and bass player, Doug Pinnick. He spells that D-U-G, small D-U-G. Ty Tabor on guitars and harmonies and sometimes lead vocals, and Jerry Gaskill on drums. And I think he sings one or two songs. Now, as far as writing, though, I think that's mainly Ty Tabor and Doug Pinnick. They're about in their late '70s or early '80s now, and they're still rocking. I mean, like, it's amazing. But one of the things that they are known for is not a lot of the public knows them, but great bands love their music. Let's see, I've got a little bit of notes here so I wouldn't forget. Some bands that have praised them: Rush, Pearl Jam, AC/DC. I think it was Malcolm Young had some great things to say about them. Alice in Chains. I guess Lane chased down Jerry Gaskill on the street, yelling, "I love your band, I love your band." So you've got this guy from Alice in Chains chasing down an relatively unknown band member, telling them that, how amazing they are. They have been said to be the impetus for grunge music, although I wouldn't classify them as grunge, but um, drop tunings. You know, like for example, my guitar right now. Normally that would be an E, which is like maybe where there's an E, and I've taken some of the strings and taken them down 4 steps, and it gives you a really low, gritty, guttural. Right? Very gritty, dirty, rumbly sound. And on top of that, uh, the band is a 3-man band, and the bass player, Doug Pinnick, sometimes uses a 12-string bass. That's 3 times the strings that's normally on a bass. I'll talk about that more later, though. So they were doing this drop tuning, not the first to do it, but the way they applied it. Way before Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots and Soundgarden, whoever, way before them. Grunge didn't start in the 70s. I'd say late 80s, maybe. So they were doing this low tuning rock and roll, but what was unique about them was that they had been said to be like heavy metal, but at the same time melodic harmonies and vocals like the Beatles. And then they had this spiritual side. I'm not going to say religious because the fact that they attended a Christian university early on, they didn't want to be lumped into that for the reason that people have a preconceived notion what a Christian is. That notion that people have of Christians may have killed their career as far as being huge. Because, I mean, let's just face it, if you're a Christian band, then you're not going to be played on regular radio. You're going to be played on the Christian stations. And I'm not sure that's bad, simply because I think Christians believe they're not supposed to be part of the world anyways. But yeah, they didn't want to be classified as that typical Christian lumped in with that and all that stigma that comes along with it. So, but they still were people that were seeking truth. A lot, like one of their albums is called Faith, Hope, and Love. That's straight from the Bible. What is it? Oh, here we go. It's their biggest hit. It was on MTV and on the radio quite a bit, but didn't manage to get them the notoriety that bands like Stone Temple Pilots feel they deserve, and I feel they deserve. Not that I matter. Here we go. It's about power of love. They write about things like that. Love. They write about truth, what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's not evil. That's kind of their whole thing is about. Very spiritual for sure. In fact, one of the complaints about their albums is that people don't understand what they're talking about. But then again, that's understandable when you're speaking stuff and you're using biblical phrases or talking about the spiritual in a world that isn't about the spiritual. You got to admit this world, especially in 2026, is about pleasure, drama, image. Certainly is image over substance. As they moved on in their career, their first album as King Zex was called Out of the Silent Planet, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you don't mind. Out of the Silent Planet, beautiful songs on it, very heavy, Um, it started kind of like establishing the King's X sound. If you don't know King's X, or if you know King's X only as King's X, you don't know that their background is country music, soul music, metal, Beatles. They love the Beatles. Last time aboard the train that goes around the world. Last time aboard the train. Last time aboard the train that goes around the world. So their music isn't anything like the what they play directly. Indirectly, it is. Where actually that's where the drop tuning came from. Was the country songs that would do that weird tuning for certain songs. So um, I guess Ty Tabor's father was really into country and that kind of stuff, and he learned a lot of stuff like that. Ty Tabor. Well, here's another one of their songs. See if I can do this. Out of the Silent Planet, first album, it really had a lot of praise from critics, but it just wasn't played over the radio. I think personally, just because it was, people knew that they came from a Christian background, and it's just a rule of thumb. You don't play Christian music on regular radio station, which I don't understand, because you certainly play uh, stuff devoted to Satan, AC/DC's Highway to Hell. Whether it's actually devoted to Satan, I don't know. I don't know AC/DC personally, but Hell's Bells, um, Rolling Stones has a song called "What's My Name," I believe is the title, and directly about Satan. Uh, it's no secret. If you don't know that some of rock and roll is about Satan, then you'd have to know that. Anyways, they did, like I said, they did get on MTV and have a couple of videos, but it was the Dogman album, which was their fourth album, I believe, that got them recognized by at least some of the public, and it's love, that song. Dogman was in Black Flag. You may know Black Flag if you're a heavy rock or metal uh, enthusiast. That got them a foot in the door, if I can use that term. What I love about Kiku's X is the way I describe him is kind of like funk or groove metal. Musically, rock and roll normally is a 4/4 time signature, which would be 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. You go through four counts that are equal, and then you begin again. But all music isn't like that, and progressive rock or progressive heavy metal uses time signatures other than that. They're still playing. It's still amazing, um, but they just never got what they deserved as far as fame, if that's a goal, or recognition. For sure, they never got the recognition they deserved. Doug Pinnick, the bassist, nowadays plays with all the big guys from the 80s and 90s. Let's see, who are some of the people he plays with? I'll put a list. I'll go find out because I can't remember their names. I'm terrible with names. Um, so hopefully a list will appear right over here. I'll point at it. There, I'm pointing at it. A list of people they performed with. Okay. Well, I'll finish out here with a song. King's X, check them out. Out of the Side of the Planet, Gretchen Goes to Nebraska is their second album. Dog Man, they have a self-titled album. Ear Candy, a wonderful album, although it's their least favorite album. It's one of my favorite, but as far as the general public that knows about King's X, Ear Candy is the least favorite album. I don't know why. It's beautiful. They've got, what other albums can you check out? Um, Black Like Sunday, I think is, yeah, one of their albums. Ogre Tones, massive grooves. I think Doug Pinnick's music sounds the most like King's X, but Ty Tabor, his music does too. It just sounds a little more modern and prog, less soul related. Doug Pinnick's music is metal prog, but more about the groove and the funk. So I think you'll enjoy it. King's X, Ty Tabor, Doug Pinnick, Jerry Gaskill of King's X. I just said that. Okay, let's see if I can play this last song. After a while, bathroom tile